Hey everyone, welcome back to my Cobra build video series. Wanted to show you what I've been up to, and you can see that I've been working on the front suspension. I can show you how that's all gone. So first up was to install the lower control arms, and I had to do that twice because I put them in first, torqued the bolts, and then tried to grease the Zerk fittings and was not able to get any grease in. So was reading on the forums of how you have to score some scratches into the face of the bushings. So these bushings have just a flat face on them. The interior of the bushings have a grooved, fluted sections for grease to flow, but the faces of those bushings are flat, and when it's tight in there, grease won't go in. So I took those off, used a Dremel tool to kind of scratch just faint little lines that kind of corresponded with the inner grooves, to make some grooves on the faces, then put the control arms back on, torque the bolts, and then was able to grease and got grease to come out. So that's all good now. Then went to put the upper control arms on, and that comes as an assembly, all kind of put together already. I had to put the ball valve in, or the ball joint, but you go to adjust it. So this is how you adjust get the alignment on the car, these adjusters. And in the manual, they give you some dimensions to set it to get a rough alignment, just to get, it close to where it's got to be. And I was able to get that on the fronts, the dimension on the fronts, but on the rear, I didn't have enough adjustment. And looking at the forums, I found that was a common kind of situation. And the solution is to cut down this rear adjuster on both sides. Some of the people that did that also cut the threaded sections, but I decided to just try cutting the adjuster itself and see what kind of what that did for me, and that worked out okay. So just used a Sawzall, and it's aluminum, so it was pretty easy to cut, and I got it cleaned up, put it back together, and just saw what kind of dimension I could get. And I was able to get it in to where it's supposed to be, plus a couple turns more in case it needs it when it gets aligned finally. So that all went together okay. And then I did the shock assemblies. I just built up all four. The only difference between front and rear is there's a different spring for the rear than for the front. So I just had to make sure I got those on the right way. Installed the shock assemblies, then put on the spindles. That went together okay. Just a little tricky with the nut on the top. Wasn't able to get a wrench on there, so I had to get a crow's foot adapter to be able to torque that. But got a set of those. Just went to Harbor Freight and got a set of those. It wasn't too bad. Been going to Harbor Freight a lot lately, but was able to torque that and get the cotter pins in, both top and bottom. Then put this on. I forget what it's called, but it's for the steering. Just have to get that on the correct side. They're mirror image of each other. And then the hubs. So put the hubs on. The only trick there was the torque on the nut was supposed to be 250 foot-pounds. I didn't have torque wrench that went that high, so I had to borrow one. But once I did that, it all went pretty good. Put the dust caps on. Then started working on the brakes. Got the calipers all built and assembled properly. But when I went to put everything together with the rotors and the calipers, they wouldn't fit. And I figured out the issue was that the rotors were too large. They were 11.65 inch diameter, and they're supposed to be like 10.88 or 11 so just talking to Factory 5, they're real good, and they're going to send me the proper ones. So just waiting on those to put the right rotors on, then the calipers should fit. Yeah. Then what I'll be doing next is starting to work on the rear suspension. I'm doing a independent rear suspension. I've got to prep some of the parts, the spindles in particular. I have to actually cut a piece off of them, so that's going to be fun. I'll do that soon, and yeah, then we'll just start putting the rest of it together. But yeah, it's all coming along. Just wanted to show you guys where we're at. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.